Most coaches that I speak to think they have a money problem or a client problem. Well, more accurately, they think they have a lack of money problem or a lack of client problem, but they actually don't. What they have is a them problem. And unfortunately, no one's really telling them that because it's way easier to sell you into a blueprint or a strategy or a new framework to get X number of clients in, say, 90 days than to actually tell you the truth. So I wanted to share with you a shift or a way of thinking that's going to help you with this, because a lot of people think it's all about the systems. It's all about the strategy, finding the right expert. I mean, the internet is filled with people out there who are selling you courses and giving you blueprints and strategies, which the majority of them can be pretty good. And if you implement them correctly, then they could potentially work. But it's not really the actual problem that's happening right now. Because all the strategies, all the marketing, all the new ways of implementing in your business, they are only going to be as good as the person who's going to implement them. Because when you really break it down, the actual problem isn't the strategy. It's not the marketing. It's not the things that you can implement. It's actually the thing that you've been avoiding that really moves the needle. There's something inside you, no matter how good your strategy is, no matter how much you know what you need to do, there's something inside you that's stopping you, that's preventing you, that's making you avoid implementing those things. So you can get all those new programs out there with the latest technology and everything to go with it, but when it comes to implementation, that's where the blockage is. All those other problems tend to be that surface level work, which if you've seen any of my videos before, I talk a lot about the deeper work, the surface level problems versus the actual problems underneath. And so when you buy a new course, when you buy a new strategy, when you subscribe to a new framework and get those freebies, which you can get pretty much everywhere these days, it's very easy to consume that content. It's very easy to subscribe to something and start watching some videos. But when it comes to actually, say, picking up a phone and making a cold call, or sending out your cold emails, or just doing anything that's going to be an interaction with a essentially cold prospect, it becomes difficult, or it is very difficult to do that. And those are the actions that need to get done if you really want to move your business forward, regardless of how many blueprints or frameworks or strategies you're implementing. So when you look at your current business right now, all right, you're a coach, you're looking to get clients, you're looking to grow your base, of course, you're looking to make more money, which is natural and it's amazing. But every month, regardless of what you're doing, it seems like things just stay the same. Like these issues, they don't become resolved no matter how much extra stuff you're consuming or how many things you're trying to implement. New clients just aren't coming in. And it's not because the clients aren't out there. There's plenty of clients out there for everyone. It's because there's something stopping you from actually reaching them, from actually getting in front of people. And the more this happens, the more you're maybe doing your outreach, or the more you're trying to reach clients, but no one's really coming in. That starts to build that stress, that starts to build that anxiety about staying in business, because staying in business doesn't come from what's happening in the market. That always plays into it a little bit, but it comes from you knowing what you need to do, but just not doing it. And I know what this is like, because I've had so many months like that before, where no matter what I'm doing, it just feels like no one's coming back. It starts to wear on me emotionally. It starts to wear on me physically. I get stressed. I get worked up. I'm trying to think about, or trying to worry about, well, where's the money going to come from to be able to just keep the lights on for just that little bit longer? Where's that next client come from? And in the back of my mind, there's always that fear of, well, I've got these clients at the moment, but when their package runs out, when their coaching program is finished, where's the next one going to come from? And this is something a lot of my clients have come to me with, because they're always looking for new ways to find more clients and keep that business going and thriving. And a lot of them are blaming the business, blaming the things in the business which aren't working, blaming the market, putting everything out externally. When an old mentor of mine gave me some amazing advice once, and that was, a person's business is a direct reflection of the person. And so what does that mean? That means that whatever challenges you're facing, whatever your business is looking like right now, it is a reflection of you as the leader in your business, as the business owner, as the person who's making it happen. So if you're not happy with your current business results, then we need to put up a mirror and start looking internally, because it means that there's going to be an area of yourself that you're not happy with. And it's that area which is causing the stress, which is causing the problems, which is causing the blockages and stopping you from actually doing the thing to move you forward rather than avoiding it. For example, a client would come to me and say that they can't get clients, that they can't make it sustainable. They can't bring more people into their world. Then we look at what they're doing, like what they're actually doing. What are their systems like? What's their marketing like? Are they trying new systems? Are they doing new marketing? Are they buying into all that expert hype that's out there? Are they actually picking up the phone? And when we dig down deep, then we start to understand what the real problem is, because they've got a marketing strategy. They've got a business strategy. They even have an outreach strategy or a sales plan and all those things that we essentially have to have in place already. But they've got them there. But then we dig down deep and we find out what's really stopping them there. And a great example of this is when we uncovered that a client had this belief. And it's a very common belief that a lot of us have, a lot of people have, because we've been given it to us as children. And that belief is that you never talk to strangers. It's sound advice. When you're a kid, absolutely, it's amazing because you don't want your kids talking to strangers. I don't want my kids just talking to random strangers. But that is drilled into us from an early age, over and over again. So when you're actually out in the world, when you're starting a business, when you're in your business, and you've been working at it for a while, you're carrying this belief of never talk to strangers. Now let's put that into context when you're trying to reach out to new people. When you're trying to pick up the phone, make cold calls, send cold emails out, meeting people at networking events. How can you positively meet new people if you've got a belief that you never talk to strangers? So that was one of the reasons why the outreach was being avoided. I had a consulting client who took like 3 months to even send 1 or 2 emails out. After a single session, he sent 20 emails literally that day, because we worked on what the pattern was. We worked on what the old rule was. And that's how we tend to operate. I mean, if you're struggling to find clients, if you're struggling to grow your business, and you haven't done that deep inner work, that whatever is blocking you right now is the old rule. It's the old pattern. It's the old way you've been doing things for a very long time. And so it's time to break the rule. If you've got an old belief, you've got an old pattern, which is stopping you from doing the work today, that's what we need to work on. All the new strategies and marketing in the world is not going to help if you're struggling with this internal challenge, if you're struggling with these old beliefs and these old rules that you're still obeying. Because when you do, when you take the time to bring it into your awareness, the actual belief that you're carrying around, which you can do yourself. I always recommend getting some help with it, because you need someone to challenge your thinking, to help you go deeper, ask you the proper questions to help you find the right answers. But when you give yourself that space, when you give yourself that time and you really bring to the surface what's actually going on, then you can start to release it. Then you can let it go. Then you can start to think differently about it. Because what happens when you do, it's not like the external world actually changes. It's not like suddenly all your problems disappear. Suddenly you can just pick up the phone and everything's amazing. That can be part of it. But what really happens is the morning doesn't change when you wake up. You change. The work ahead of you doesn't change. The challenges don't change. But how you show up and face those challenges, that's what changes. So instead of waking up in the morning stressed, full of anxiety, worrying about where your next clients are going to come from or have consistent clients coming through, it's not a problem for you anymore, because you know that you've uncovered the belief. You know what you're operating from now. It's in your conscious awareness, which means when it surfaces, you can do something about it. If you've done some deeper work and you've given yourself the opportunity to let it go, man, everything really changes then. But if you're not at that stage yet, and you haven't done that yet, but you still have your business to run, how you show up is what's going to be more important. How you see the challenges ahead of you. When you go to pick up the phone and make cold calls, when you sit down in front of your computer or your laptop and you're trying to send outreach emails or connect with people on social media who are very, very cold, you don't see it as a challenge anymore. As in, it doesn't cause you that stress and anxiety, because when you go to write that message, "Hi, Mr. X, how are you?" Suddenly, it's not a fear of talking to strangers, or you're not battling that I don't want to talk to strangers or I never talk to strangers. Now it's like, oh, I recognize that's there, but that doesn't serve me anymore. I'm going to send the message anyway. That optimism isn't something that you have to manufacture anymore, because it's there now. You know what was running the show. And now you're equipped to be able to run the show in a much more positive and more effective way for what you're doing. Now, if you realize that these limiting beliefs, these old rules, this old way of thinking is actually running a lot of your show, which I imagine it would be right now, and you're at that stage where you're ready to do something about it, one of the things that I do offer is a one-on-one 2-hour deep coaching conversation. And it's for you when you're ready to go deep, when you're ready to do the work, and you're ready to be challenged about your thinking and what keeps coming up, so you can actually start making progress in what you're doing, so you can move your needle. So it's not difficult for you to actually pick up the phone anymore. And I should say that it's not a sales call. This is not designed in some way just to enroll you in my program or anything like that. That's not how I operate. I always come up from a place where we do the work first. You do a 2-hour session, and if you want to do more, then we have a conversation about that. This session is about you. And if it's something that you're interested in and you'd like to check out, there is a link in the description of this video below, which you can book, or you can at least reach out to me. We can have a conversation first. So if that's something you're interested in, then I'll be more than happy to serve you. Thank you so much for watching the video. I really appreciate it. Give it a like and a subscribe if you haven't already, and feel free to share it to any other coaches out there that you believe this can help them as well. Thanks again, and I'll see you in the next one.